I have never seen this team beg more for ticket sales than I'm seeing now.
The Fever are still putting up their little social media posts about buying tickets. That has got swatted down by fans of Caitlin Clark.
Sorry, I'm not spending any of my hard-earned money to make the Fever franchise any money. I will buy Caitlin Clark merch all day long, but I'm not spending 1 penny buying Fever merchandise or buying tickets. Sorry, you guys screwed that up.
Constantly ruining her brand and then beg people to buy tickets. No, thank you.
Indiana Feline struggling to sell out season opener. Not only are they struggling to sell tickets to the season opener, the Indiana Felines are struggling to sell season tickets.
Caitlin Clark making it very clear she wants to play, she's ready to play.
Something feels different this time. The Indiana Fever aren't just promoting tickets, they're pushing harder than ever, and fans are noticing. For many supporters, this is no longer about basketball alone. It's about frustration, disappointment, and the belief that the franchise has repeatedly mishandled the one player who made them impossible to ignore. Fans may still spend on Caitlin Clark, but many are no longer eager to spend on the organization around her.
The WNBA is asking $900 per ticket. For that price, you can get better seats for the NBA playoffs.
When it comes to ticket sales and trying to sell out an arena, I have never seen the Indiana Fever ask more than they are asking now.
Do you feel like you've got a better all-around team if Caitlin Clark is not on the court? Stephanie White will tell you yes. She believes the team is better without the most dynamic playmaker in all of the WNBA and in women's sports not on the court.
Some fans have admitted they are hesitant how after last year CC was handled.
Caitlin isn't your priority, and it shows. We spent thousands last season just to watch her get iced out. No screens, no plays, just standing there in the corner like a decoy. And now the coach thinks she's a combo guard. Indiana Fever won a lot of games last year, but a lot of those games that they won were still boring because that's what your league was associated with before Caitlin Clark.
The problem runs deeper than a slow ticket week. Fans remember last season clearly. The attention, the constant spotlight, and the feeling that Clark's popularity was being used without a real commitment to building around her. Just months ago, every Caitlin Clark game felt like a major event. Tickets vanished, prices soared, and arenas expanded to meet the demand. Now, the Fever are promoting harder than ever just to move seats, and that dramatic shift is raising a bigger question. What changed so fast, and why are people suddenly holding back?
For the first time, last year's home opener allegedly sold out in under an hour.
Stephanie White saying that they're going to load manage Caitlin Clark.
Want to be smart. She doesn't need every rep in practice. Like, we want to continue to ramp her up.
We're going to ramp her up. She just played USA basketball.
What we don't want to do is overload someone that is coming back from injury. We expect them to be available, and
they already starting that BS.
If y'all are trying to use last season's Caitlin Clark injury as a reason to limit her minutes, and we're not going to win games like that.
We are about 2 weeks away from the regular season. A lot of tickets available.
Last season may have brought wins, but not every game delivered the excitement fans expected. That's why the current hesitation feels so important. This isn't simply about pricing, the economy, or fans losing interest in basketball. It's about trust. Caitlin Clark's supporters didn't just watch. They invested, traveled, bought merchandise, and helped push the WNBA into a bigger national spotlight. Now that same fan base is pausing, and when the people who fueled the momentum begin to hesitate, it signals a much deeper problem.
Tweeting out at fans, calling them complainers. When you start taking shots at the people that support you, the people that reach into their wallet for you, they remember.
We're going to continue to prioritize the locker room and the chemistry in the locker room and the continuity.
If Stephanie White believes there is a superstar on this team, she believes it is Kelsey Mitchell, not Caitlin Clark.
Flew to Indy with a friend, stayed in a hotel across the street, and our favorite players weren't playing. Bought tickets early, and by August, the team was decimated. Many fans want to see how the season goes before.
The warning signs are impossible to miss. The regular season is approaching, but tickets are still sitting there instead of disappearing on release. Not long ago, Fever games were among the hottest tickets in sports. Now, the increase in promotion feels less like celebration and more like urgency. And when an organization starts pushing this hard, or worse, taking shots at the very fans who support it, it only reinforces the feeling that something behind the scenes has gone badly off course.
We're fortunate that Caitlin was able to get some gameplay and very casually got back on the court and won the MVP at the qualifier. Happy for her. She's looked great. She's worked incredibly hard to be in a good spot. But to your point, Sophie and Ty have not played in game action. What we don't want to do is overload someone that is coming back from injury. We expect them to be available and practicing, but there's a difference between not playing games or playing games. That factored into some of the decisions in terms of having some guard depth to make sure that we are allowing these players to really ramp up in an appropriate fashion. One of the learnings from last year was we don't want to play players 40 minutes every night.
Sophie Cunningham was playing like maybe 20 minutes a game for real. That is strictly about Caitlin Clark, who was playing 31 minutes.
Fans aren't just delaying purchases, they're making a statement. Their frustration is aimed directly at decisions that seem disconnected from Caitlin Clark's value and influence. Because Clark didn't just enter the league, she transformed it. She brought record ratings, new audiences, and unmatched attention. So when supporters feel that the player who changed everything isn't being treated like the centerpiece, they don't just complain online, they start pulling their money and energy back.
So being able to create a rotation that does have some depth, we have a lot of versatility in this group. I'm really excited about that.
Indiana Fever GM Amber Cox said they're going to be limiting playing time off Caitlin Clark.
We want to make sure that we manage the reps and what kinds of reps she's getting just to build her up.
Do y'all think Asia Wilson is about to be on some sort of minutes restriction? No, she's going to be going for another MVP, going for another championship. Meanwhile, we got these people talking about limiting our best players. Y'all trying to justify this Raven Johnson pick. Y'all trying to justify going and signing all these damn guards.
The Las Vegas, who just committed over $5 million to AJ Wilson, they couldn't sell out the WNBA Finals last year with tickets selling for less than $4.
This feels like a breaking point. Fans don't want experiments, mixed signals, or a slow drift away from what made this team relevant. They want clarity. They want commitment. Most of all, they want to see Caitlin Clark placed in the strongest possible position to succeed. What's happening now may look quiet from the outside, but this kind of silent protest is dangerous. When fans stop rushing to buy, stop showing up, and stop spending, momentum doesn't explode. It slowly disappears. And for a league tied so heavily to star power, that matters far beyond Indiana. The pressure now shifts squarely onto the Fever organization. Fans aren't asking why Clark isn't carrying everything. They're asking why the people who once showed up in huge numbers are stepping back. That's the real crisis. Because if the biggest draw in the sport starts losing fan urgency around her own team, it sends a message that reaches beyond one market. This may not be a temporary slowdown. It may be the first visible crack in the momentum that was built around Caitlin Clark. The frustration didn't appear overnight. It has been building through a series of front office decisions that seem out of sync with what fans expected from a Caitlin Clark-led team. The vision felt obvious. Put the ball in her hands, build a roster that complements her strengths, and shape the offense around her talent. Instead, fans see confusion, questionable roster fits, overlapping roles, and no clear identity. Is this team supposed to play fast and free with Clark setting the pace, or is it trying to become something else entirely? That uncertainty is exactly what starts to erode belief. This is where disappointment turns into something more serious. A lot of fans feel like they were promised one future and are now watching a different one unfold. Ticket sales matter because they reflect belief, and right now that belief is slipping. The risk is bigger than one franchise, too. Caitlin Clark is the league's most powerful draw, and if her team struggles to sustain excitement, the ripple effects hit ratings, sponsorships, media energy, and the league's broader growth. Fans aren't demanding perfection. They're asking for alignment, direction, and a clear commitment to the star who brought them in. The path forward is actually simple, even if the consequences of ignoring it are not. The Fever have to fully embrace Caitlin Clark as the centerpiece, build a system that amplifies what makes her special, and make decisions that clearly match that vision. If they do, the energy can come rushing back because the interest hasn't vanished. It's waiting. This moment isn't the end of the story, but it is a turning point. The fans have already made their move. Now the organization has to decide whether it will restore the momentum or keep drifting until a ticket problem becomes something much bigger.